Each November, we come together to remember before God all those who gave their lives in 2 world wars and other conflicts for our freedom. We particularly remember those from our village whose names are on the war memorial. Relatives of some are still living in the village. Today we are going to hear the story of another brave young man who fought in the Battle of Britain and was shot down and killed in the skies above us. One of the few, he fought alongside his brother in the RAF in 1940. His name was Basil Fisher. Basil and his brother Anthony grew up in Berkshire. They went to school at Eton College near Windsor. Anthony was quite academic, while Basil preferred games.
I like learning Latin.
Give me cricket or tennis any day.
Basil did learn something though, because both brothers went from Eton to Trinity College, Cambridge.
It's where we learned to fly. We love flying and we had a plane which we shared between us.
We took our friends flying too. The joy of being up in the air, free of gravity, was intoxicating.
But the world was about to change for Anthony and Basil. In September 1939, war was declared against Nazi Germany. Not surprisingly, Anthony and Basil joined the RAF.
It was an extraordinary time. The Germans were soon at the French coast and the British Army was evacuated from Dunkirk in June 1940. The RAF was all that stood between us and the invasion.
Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister, made a speech on the radio and said,
"The battle for France is over. The battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the future of Christian civilization."
The battle raged across the skies of southern England day after day. It was summer and good weather, and people in Sidlesham saw many dogfights in the sky as the RAF and the Luftwaffe fought for domination of the air. Invasion was expected at any minute, and the beaches of the Manhood Peninsula were defended with barbed wire. On the 15th of August 1940, the Luftwaffe put 2,000 planes into the air in an attempt to destroy the RAF. This was to be the height of the Battle of Britain.
We took off from Croydon early in the morning and had defeated some of the first wave. We returned back to Croydon.
We weren't on the ground long when we were scrambled for a second sortie. We flew down to Portsmouth to defend the naval base in the city. I shot down a Jungers 88 over Chidham.
They were heading back to Croydon together, flying over Selsey Bill, heading north, when Basil's aircraft was shot and seriously damaged. He got out of his plane and opened his parachute. His plane crashed into the barn at Ham.
I saw his parachute open, but it caught fire and burnt through his harness. He fell in a field between Sidlesham and Selsey and died on impact with the ground.
He was 23 years old. Anthony flew on to Croydon to discover that the airfield had been bombed and all his and Basil's possessions destroyed. He had lost his brother completely.
I never flew operationally again after this terrible day. I went on to train other pilots throughout the war, married, had a successful career and had 2 children. One was christened Mark Basil for my brother.
I was buried at my old school, Eton College. I was one of 35 British airmen lost that day, which turned out to be the heaviest battle in the whole Battle of Britain. But the Luftwaffe had lost 128 airmen and 76 aircraft.
It was the turning point of the battle. The Nazis turned their attention to bombing London. The Blitz began, and the invasion never happened. In the whole period of the Battle of Britain, from July to September 1940, more than 2,500 German aircrew and 544 RAF aircrew died.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
Anthony and Basil and their colleagues have been known ever since as the few. We remember all who gave their lives for our freedom before and since Basil's sacrifice.